making 5, 6, 7, 8 different designs because each card is going to look different. Okay, so we'll put these together in just a second, but I'm going to show you how I prepped for these 2 cards. But I'm going to show you in a different color, right? Okay, so whenever I prep for a design, I always prep to make 2 of each designs. In this case, because we used a 6x6 sheet of paper, I was able to get 2 card designs out of one 6x6 sheet of paper. So I prepped for 4. So this is how I do it, okay? I know I'm going to need 4 envelopes. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my 4. Right? I'm going to need 4 card bases because I'm doing 2 of each design. And I'm going to need 2 sheets of the 6x6 paper. So I'm going to pick that out first because honestly I wasn't prepared. So you're just going to go through and decide which one you want. So there's the stripes are beautiful. And then you have this one, which is Shaded Spruce and Mango Melody Heavy. There's your Petal Pink. You have this one, which is Petal Pink and Balmy Blue Heavy. Put the Mango Melody on the back. This is the one that I used for the original card design that has the Shaded Spruce and little flowers on the back. So you get 3 of each design. Here's one that is, I think this is Pink Sorbet. Let's check. Sweet Sorbet, that's what it's called. So on the back it tells you what the colors are and what will match. So this one, what will match is Balmy Blue, Mango Melody, Night of Navy, Petal Pink, Shaded Spruce, and Sweet Sorbet. And that one has Petal Pink. Alright, so I think we're back to the same. Are these the same? Or are my eyes playing tricks on me? Oh. Okay, my eyes are playing tricks on me. Oh, I love that. So you can choose, so what sides you want, what colors you want. This one looks almost exactly alike, except for instead of a Shaded Spruce, it has the Night of Navy. Ooh, that's beautiful. And then this is more my style, a little bit more white space, a little cleaner. I love that. And you have this one with those stripes. This one with the weave on the back. This one's more of a very vanilla in the background with blue polka dots. And then this one, there's the back of that. Okay, so I absolutely love those, but let's try, let's see. Let's go ahead and do this one. Okay, just gonna do that one. And we're gonna use Petal Pink as the base, so let me put this paper away. Okay, so I got 2 sheets of Petal Pink and I got some scrap because you need a piece that is 2 by, where's my cheat sheet? 2 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to use the scraps that I have in my Petal Pink stash. You could always cut a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4 and then you just make your 2 at the same time, but I'm going to use my scraps. Okay, so first let's go ahead and let's make our card bases. We need a paper trimmer. So you're going to score it on the short side at 4 1/4. If you accidentally cut at 4 1/4, you're fine. Just your card will be a different opening card. And you're going to cut at 5 1/2. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that to both. We're going to score at 4 1/4. and cut at 5.5. Okay, so I know that I want some inside layers. I always layer the inside of my card. I just think it looks nicer. So I know I'm going to need 4 layers. So I'm going to take a sheet of basic white. I'm going to cut this at 4 1/8. And then cut it again at 5 3/8. Cut the second piece at 5 3/8. It's the tick mark before the 5.5. So you just want to have an 1/8 of an inch border. You can always, you know, make your border whatever you want. Okay, again, I'm going to do 4 1/8 and cut these down to 5 3/8. Alright, so that should give me my 4 inside layers. Okay, now for my design, I did layer with basic white around my cards. See there? So I need 4 layers. And it actually is the exact same measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out another sheet of basic white with that same measurement. So these are really easy to mass produce. Once you get one design that you really like, you can make a ton of cards quickly. Alright, so 4 1/8. I usually have a lot of these bases already cut, just because I know I use them all the time. And I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 at a time. Make sure they're even. 5 3/8. I can go a lot faster than this, but obviously for tutorial purposes, I want to make sure everyone can do it. Alright, so I have my outside layers, my inside layers. Now I need to go ahead and cut my paper. So I know that my measurements, I want it to be 4 by 5 1/4 for this card here. So I'm going to go ahead and take both sheets, and I'm going to do 4. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cut them at 5 1/4 first. I'm going to cut them at 5 1/4, and then I'm going to cut. Then I'm going to put the, you know, I rotated it. Put the long side at the top, and I'm going to cut it at 4. So that gives me my 2 card bases for this card right there, and then my 2 pieces for this card. So that's it, right? Super easy. Okay, so I'm good with that. So let me go ahead and put this here in my pile. This is my pile of things I'm going to need. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and prep my my front pieces. Okay, I'm going to cut my paper down 2 to 5 1/4 so I can have these panels. I'm going to make 2 of those. Now again, you can do a 4-inch piece, you know, 4 inches by 5 1/4, so that way you can just do it all at once, but I'm using scraps. I'm actually going to cut this down to 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Same thing with this one, 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. I'm just making it just ever so slightly smaller than 2 inches, so that way there's not a huge bulk when I'm trying to add my ribbon. You can leave it at the 2 measurement if you want. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I do need to go ahead and emboss those. Save all these little pieces because we're about to use these on here. Alright, so now you need to prep your your other pieces here. Now, I use Night of Navy for this one, and I use Balmy Blue for this one. So I think for those card colors, I'm going to change it up a little bit and use what? Let me decide. Okay, what I decided for this particular card, I'm going to do white where the Balmy Blue is, and I'm going to do Petal Pink where the white is. And so I'm taking my inside piece, and I'm going to take this one, and let's go ahead and cut those out. So again, I'm using my scraps, and that doesn't fit. Alright, well my scraps don't fit, but that's okay. This is roughly... I'm just going to cut it roughly at 2.5 inches. Oops. So this is the thing, when you're using your paper trimmer and you have a lot of stuff on your table, sometimes it doesn't cut all the way through. Oh, and my paper was stuck in there. It's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'm going to run 2 of these through my embossing machine. And I'm going to run 2 white. And I'm going to run my 2 pieces, my 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. I'm going to layer them in my embossing folder like this, and I'm going to go ahead and run it. I have a huge embossing machine across my room, so I can run everything all at once. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so everything is cut out. I did have to modify my design slightly. I had to do 2 small flowers instead of 1 big and 1 small because somehow my big flower went missing. It was on my cutting plate when I put it in the machine, and it was not there when I took it out. So I didn't, I had to hunt for it, and I was searching, so of course I said, forget it. I'll just do 2 little ones, and the second I did 2 little ones, I found it. My cutting machine is an electric cutting machine, and somehow it had fallen off and got stuck in there. So anyway, I'm just taking the take your pick tool and popping out all the little dots and whatnot. The brush attachment to this would have been amazing. I don't have it, but it probably would have saved me a lot of time. Here's those pieces. My flowers are somewhere. And then here are my 2 panel pieces. This was a different die that I didn't put away. And then just trash. Okay, so for my other card, I'm going to do, let's see here. I don't even remember what my other design was. Full page design. Here we go. Alright, so what I want to do, since our paper looks like this, what I want to do is, I think I want my, this piece, I'm going to put it in Petal Pink. I'm going to leave this white. I'm going to stamp it with the Petal Pink. And I'm going to do the flowers, some blue, some Petal Pink. Maybe. I don't know. But in order for me to get this thanks layer, the white layer, what I did was I took this die and I just cut the flowers off. That's why I had to place these flowers to cover that up. Because I wanted something to go inside. I wanted a double layer, and there isn't a double layer, so I made my own. So I'm going to run those. Yeah. Okay, so I got those cut out, and I just have a scrap of basic white. I'm going to take this flower collage here in the Petal Park, the top right one. Now this one is made specifically for the punch. So that's how I got these 3 flowers. We're going to do the punch. So definitely look at your punch and see how it's set up. So you want your smallest flower to be on top so you can easily just punch it. I would use my Stamparatus, but for video's sake and timing, I'm just going to go ahead and use my clear block. I do not have Balmy Blue or Night of Navy ink, and so I'm using Misty Moonlight, which came in a Paper Pumpkin pack. So it's very close to Night of Navy, so it matches perfectly, I think. You can obviously use whatever color you want. I would do the flowers in Petal Pink because I do have Petal Pink ink, but I think that they're going to get a little lost. It's going to be too much Petal Pink, so I'm going to use this. I know I'm making 2 cards, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp it twice. Oh, that one came out perfect. Oopsies. Just got ink all over my table. So I'm just tapping my ink on there, not hard. Just tap, 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 tap. And again, making sure my little flower is on top, straight down, and straight up. I did not do very well. This is why your Stamparatus would be perfect, because then I could just go back over. But you know what? I'm okay with that. It's a little bit lighter on the bottom, but there's a lot going on in this pattern, so I'm okay with that. I don't think anyone will notice that. Especially when you start coloring and adding your highlights and whatnot. I cut my chamois into a manageable piece. I just stick it in a Ziploc bag. Clean my stamp off. And we're good to go. Alright, so I like to put my items away even when I'm filming, because if you don't, they're going to go missing. Okay. We have our sentiment here. We need to stamp that thanks. We need to stamp you are amazing, dear friend. Let me do the thanks first. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Again, Stamparatus. So I like to do my stamping all at the same time. Again, this is just my prep video, so you can do what you want. I am going to use let me see what it looks like. My flowers are going to be blue. Let's see how light the Petal Pink comes out. Petal Pink is a very light color, but it might be okay. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I think it's too light. That's okay. Maybe I'll leave one light and one dark. That's the joy of making cards. Nobody knows what they're supposed to look like except for you. So if you want one dark, one light, you know, whatever your heart desires, that's what you're going to do. So I'm going to do one dark, one light. Still just tapping it on my ink pad. So if I had that on my Stamparatus, I could go back and stamp it a couple times to make it a little bit darker, a little bit cleaner. But there you go. And if I don't like that in the end, I can just recut it. It's just cardstock. Typically I would say flip it over, but because, actually you might be able to flip it over. These are pretty nice detailed edges. It's like stitched. So you could probably just turn it over. Okay, so now we need to stamp the other one, which says the you are amazing, dear friend. I don't know if it's supposed to be "You are amazing, dear friend," or "Dear friend, you are amazing." I'm not sure. So, this time I think I'm going to do "Dear friend, you are amazing." So that's the "Dear friend," and "You are amazing." Okay. So, for this one, I am going to stamp it. What did I do? The pieces. I'm going to stamp this one in Misty Moonlight as well, I think. So for this one, I highly recommend that you put your white piece in, or your layer piece in, before you stamp. So these little flowers pop up. So it tucks inside nicely. Gives you that great 1/8 of an inch border. And then just tuck it in this one too. That little piece wasn't popped out all the way. So just kind of move it around until you get it where you like it. I mean, you can glue it down if you want. I think it will be okay. I don't know. Let me put a little... I didn't think about this last night. So I am going to put just like a little tiny bit of glue just on that one little corner, just to make sure that it, you know, it kind of stays in. I did not think of that last night. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's do this next one. Let's go ahead and pop it in. It's the thing I hate about crafting in the basement. You can hear when, like, people flush the toilet or they're washing their hands. In this case, I think my dad's doing his dishes. Or when the water hose turns on, oh my gosh, it sounds like it's raining in here because the water hose is right outside the basement window. So, but anyway. All right, get in there. Again, just layer it where you... It did not give me so much problems yesterday. Okay. A little dab of glue. Right. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp. What did I say we're going to do? Dear friend first. And dear friend. Okay. Again, Stamparatus. I'm just showing you guys that you can do it without the Stamparatus, just because it is $50, and I know right now everyone just had Christmas and whatnot, but actually, you know what? I'm going to show you both. I'm going to show you hand, and I'll go get my Stamparatus, and I will show you with the Stamparatus, so you can kind of see, you know, if it's worth you buying it or what. I think it's worth it, just because it's easier and it's lined up better, but I understand people have budgets too. I moved that U a little bit, so I gotta re-ink it. Okay. And we're just gonna straight down and straight up. Okay. Sweet glitter gods. And perfect. I rocked it, but that's okay. See, for me, I will not redo that because it's a tiny little smudge, but you know, some people will. All right, let me get the Stamparatus. And yes, I do just craft over whatever is on my mat. I'm not a picky crafter. I don't have to have my surface, obviously I don't have to have my surface clean at all to craft. If you need to have your surface clean, by all means, do what you gotta do. Line this up where you want it. Put your little magnets on there. You know what, let me clean this first. I know I'm going to use the same color, but let me clean it before I put it down. because I just used it. I don't want any smudges. Okay. So, dear friend, you are amazing. Oh my gosh, so sticky. Oh. Okay. Get that adhesion. Right. Take your ink pad. Tap, tap, tap. And here you go. Straight down, put a little pressure with your hand or whatever you have, and look at how perfect. We didn't have to pray for that one because we knew it was going to be perfect. So if you're doing a lot of these, obviously, use your Stamparatus, because you can just, boom, next one, ink, boom, next one, ink, you know, just keep it moving. You don't have to stop, reset, all that business. So there's your benefit. And then if I would have misinked or needed it darker, then, you know, obviously you're just going to re-ink and repress. So there you have it, folks. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put my stamps away. And then I'm going to pull out my stamps for my envelopes, and my inside layers. I'm going to get it all done, because that's just how I roll. I need it all done at once. Because putting it together takes you, what, a few minutes, right? It's all of this part, the prepping part, that takes you forever. Putting it together, you can do that while watching your favorite TV show. Prepping, you have to pay attention. Alright, so for my envelopes, I just did the 3 flower. And for my insides, I did this. Okay. I wasn't 100% in love with it, but I had already stamped it, so I colored it, and then I was in love with it. Right? There you go. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. And then I just have my little card sleeves. You can buy the clear envelopes on the envelope page if you want. So let me answer my phone, and then I'll do this. Okay, and I'm just going to do the same for the insides here. And I'm going to do the same for my envelopes after I clean this ink off my desk, because I do not want smudge marks on any of my cards. These are actually wipes I got from Dollar Tree. They clean it very well. And they're nice and thick. So, okay, there we go. Crisis averted, right? Okay, so I'm going to use the Petal Park stamps. I'm going to use the one that's meant for the punch. And I'm going to use this one down here, which is this right here. And do I want a leaf thing? I'll take a leaf thing. Sure, that's the scientific name, leaf thing, right? Alright, so I'm going to pull my pile of everything I'm using, and I'm going to pull my inside layers and my envelopes. I only need 4 because it's the inside layers, not the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go for it. I'm going to make sure all of my envelopes are, the flaps are on the top. So that way I don't even have to think about it. I can just stamp and go, right? Again, use your Stamparatus or hand stamp it, whatever you want. And I liked mine. I'm putting it on the front. You could put it on the back. You can, you know, add a piece of the designer series paper. Oh, that's a good idea because we have that scrap, don't we? So you can, you know, just add something on there so it doesn't look like an afterthought. I don't know. I don't know why that bothers me so much when there's nothing on the... I guess it doesn't bother me, but let's say it wows me when there's gorgeous stamp on the inside or something on the envelope. Like if I see this in the mail, I'm getting excited. I know, number one, it's not a bill. Number two, it's not one of those junk mail that they try to get you by handwriting the envelope, and then when you open it up, it's like, oh, we invite you to get your car warranty extended, or, you know, whatever. So there's that. And last one. Tap, 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 tap. No pushing. Oh, no. Where's my wipey? This is why I should probably clean my surface off when I'm doing stuff, but I don't. Just have wipes ready. Perfect. Okay, those are done. Clean my stamp. I'm going to be lazy and clean it with this wipe because it's right here in my hand. I don't know. I know some people are like, don't use wipes on your stamps. It ruins them, blah, blah. I typically use whatever I have in my hand. I have, knock on wood, I have never had anything go bad or not work. It's a stamp. So, I don't know. Believe what you want. Do you. Okay. So now I have my 4. I want that there. And what I'm going to do, no, I'm just going to do one at a time. I was going to put this up there and then, you know, do whatever, but, okay. So I'm going to use the Stamparatus on this one, and I'm going to hand stamp the other one. I don't know if you have to put the magnet there or not. I just do because that's what the instructions say. I don't know if it's really necessary, to be honest. I don't know. Actually, I think this is the one. Is this the one I used? It's not, but for this card, it's going to be the one I'm using for this inside. And I'm just going to flip my card over and do it again. Tap, 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 tap. And go for it. Yeah, I don't particularly care for this stamp. It's not horrible, but I don't love it either. I love the other version. So, switch it out. So I'm going to use, where's my other, this cluster. That's the one that I love. And that was fun to color. I'm not going to discard the other one because, like I said, it looks nice. But I want to, wow, I love it. Not a, oh, okay, nice. I don't know. I'm weird. Okay, so again, tap, tap, tap. And press. Perfect. Turn it around. Let's see if you have to have that magnet. there's your answer, folks. You don't have to have the magnet. All right, let's go ahead and do the other one. I'll do the other two. Okay, so the answer is yes, you do want the magnet. Because without the magnet, my paper shifted, and now my flowers down here have like a little funky shadow when I tried to re-ink it. And so I guess, yes, you do want the magnet so you don't have any shifting. It wasn't a huge deal. You probably wouldn't have noticed it if I didn't point it out. But this is what I do. Just turn it over. Your cardstock is double-sided, right? So yeah, okay, well, there you go. If you are taking your time and using the Stamparatus, the answer is no, you don't have to have the magnet. But if you're just plowing through it like me, yes, you want the magnet. Yes, you want the magnet. Apparently. All right, I might as well just keep the camera running because I'm on the last one. And then I'm going to hand stamp the other. Oh gosh, being reckless over here. All right, because I let that dry too quickly, I'm going to go ahead and re-ink my stamp. And because I have my magnet, there's no paper shifting. And perfect. Okay. All right. I'm going to clean my stamp, and then I'm going to get my other block. Okay, got my favorite H block and my Petal Pink ink. There are two of these little leaf things, so you can do both directions, but I just went one direction, flipped my card over, and went the other direction, right? It's you know, for me, that's fine. And then stamp, spin around, and stamp. Okay. There you go. Okay, so all of my stamping is done. I'm going to put all my stamping stuff away and pull out my blends, and I will show you what colors I used. I used what I have. So let me get that out. Okay, so the colors that I used were Balmy Blue, Pale Papaya, and Pumpkin Pie. Because those are the colors I have. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to start coloring the pieces that we need to cut out for the face of the other card that I have misplaced. Oh, it's right here. For these three little things, right? Okay, so what I do is I took my light Balmy Blue, the brush end, and I just start scribbling. You barely have to touch it. That's it. Just flicking a little tiny bit of color in there. I don't want to color the whole petal, just a few of those little dot things, right? I did take my Wink of Stella and I kind of just winked each individual petal. If you do this while you're immediately after you stamp, you will pull out some of the color from your ink, your stamped ink, which I forgot to do that. And I think it looks really nice. So your whole petal will have a hint of a blue color, and then you'll have the extra balmy blue when you put your blends. So just Wink of Stella. Obviously this is optional. My Ink of Stella is almost dry. Look at how I treated it so poorly. It got stuck in the cap. Okay, so just a little sparkle, which is fine. And then for these ones, I'm going to put the gems in the middle. So I'm just going to, yeah, I'm just going to leave the middles alone. Put that to the side. Now I'm going to do my insides. Now my insides, I did go ahead and add color to all of them. Not being precise, leaving some white. Just because the background is white. So when you play with these markers, you'll get the feel of it that you just have to just barely touch the paper. Very light-handedly color. Like I said, I like the look. It had a little tiny bit of white in it because that's just kind of how the paper collection is, and the stamps have a little like skip lines in it. So I'm not coloring the whole petal. I'm just adding ink where I think. You can you know, do what you want. Just a quick. So, we're not winning awards for coloring with this one, okay? Even though I think by not having the full petal colored, I think it is award winning. Beautiful. In my opinion. Okay. Quick coloring. And then we're going to do the same thing for our envelopes. We're just going to tap some color in there. You can Wink a Stella if you want. I didn't Wink a Stella my envelopes. Typically, I would not color on top of something else with the marker pen or with the blends because it does go through. But with the envelopes, it's like 2 layers, so you're good. You saw the other ones, I did not put it on top. And last one, just a little sprinkle of color. That's it. Okay. Now for the envelopes, I took the light pumpkin pie, brush side, and did the middles. My pumpkin pie is messed up. I think this was one of the ones I was supposed to send back because it was messed up. I never did. It still works. Okay, and just with a very light hand, I did that. All right, so your envelopes are done. Now we're just going to take our pale papaya, the light one, brush side, and oh, my hair's in there. And we're just going to color in the leaves of that petal pink, whatchamacallit. And again, I am just touching it, so it's going all over the place, but I think it's gorgeous. Not being precise any. The first one I was precise. This one I'm just kind of scribbling over the top. You can try to color all those little leaves if you want to, but I'm good. Just making like a zigzag motion, and because it is a different shade, you can still see what the shape is. Lazy coloring that came out beautiful. Okay, let me put all those away. All right, so I have my sleeves here, or you can use the clear envelopes, whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and put my envelopes inside, so that way I can just put my cards in and keep it moving. I like putting all of my stuff in these sleeves or clear plastic envelopes, just, you know, to make sure they stay clean. And, you know, it just, to me, the presentation just looks nicer. All right. And we are good to go. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull my card bases, which are right here. Make sure they are varnished. If your card is off, it could be you mismeasured, or it could be the paper was bigger than 8.5 by 11. I've noticed that lately. Some of the pages are off, but that's no big deal. Before you varnish, you just line up the two sides, and then you varnish. No big deal. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and this is what I do. Again, you're going to do what you're comfortable with. You're going to take your tape runner, and you're going to go ahead and run your tape runner on all of your, I missed that whole corner, on all of your pieces. Typically, I am a wet glue girl, but not when I'm using white, because I don't like to see glue marks. Alright, so first what I'm going to do is go ahead and use my stamp. Here it is. On the back of my cards, because I often forget. And yes, for those of you who follow me on my other Facebook page, Coffee Cake and Crafting, you would know that I had to do some surgery because I misspelled copyright. Which is fine. I just took an X-Acto knife and I cut that piece out. Alright. So there's my stamp. Now I'm going to open and add my insides. So what I like to do is I leave it open and I flip it over, so now I'm ready to do my front. So we have it backwards, open, place, varnish, and flip. Obviously, until you get the hang of it, you'd want to pay attention. Got a lot of overhang glue this time. Flip. Ready. Alright, so now we're ready for our fronts. Again, because I did all of them, you know, the design with the same color background, I'm just going to go ahead and put all 4 of my white layers on, which they're here. Again, I'm just going to put my tape runner on all 4 of them. Okay, we're ready. So I know my mat looks straight in the video, but it's actually crooked. For whatever reason, I cannot layer on a straight mat. Has to be crooked. I don't know. So I just turned my camera so it looks like it's straight to you guys, but it's not. Oh, these overhang pieces. Man, me and this tape runner today are not friends. And oh my gosh. Okay. And you know, once you get the hang of it, it's not going to take you this long to do it. I don't know why it takes me double the time when I'm on camera. It shouldn't, but it does. I think just because I'm trying to slow it down to make sure every crafter level can see what I'm doing. And then I don't know. Okay. The layer pieces are on. Some people like to keep their cards open when they're crafting. It's really just your preference, what you want to do. Give mine another little varnish. Alright, so first I'm going to work on my full pieces because those are going to be easy. Tape runner, wet glue, whatever you want. I'm switching to wet glue here. This pattern is quite loud, and so you're not going to see your, where's my towel? You're not going to see your glue marks. second one. Easy on the squeezy. And get it on there. This one I probably should have did balmy blue instead of white layer. I think balmy blue would have really made this card pop, but it's already laid down. So there you go. All right, let's finish this one because the other one's going to take some thinking. All right, so we have our thanks. We have our 2 pieces here. So what I did, scissors, I just kept the stitched part on and went right below the stitched and cut the flowers off. Nothing hard here. I don't craft hard. I craft easy. You know, I could have traced and did all that to make these, you know, perfect layer, but nope. We're going to do that. Our layering pieces, now it's up to you if you want to glue them down or if you want to pop them up with dimensionals. I opted glue down. Again, it's white, and so I'm using tape runner instead. Now it is a little tricky when you're trying to line it up straight because when you cut that piece off, it's not straight. So I'm okay with it. Okay. And then I'm going to do this one. And you just got to kind of manipulate it for it to look straight. As best as you can. Right. Okay. Now I'm going to pull in my flowers that we winked and we had our little markers. We're going to line it up in our punch as best as you can. Punch. Go ahead and line up your next ones. And punch. Alright, so we're good with our punch. Okay, so what I did is I just kind of pulled up the edges a little bit just to give it, you know, a little bit of dimension, just a little bit. Obviously you don't have to. And then this way. And then this one. Okay. So I just glued the big flower on the bottom left. Just kind of, you know, placing it in there around the words, but covering up where we cut off that flower collage. And then I took the medium, put a little glue on the back of that, and I just kind of covered that flower collage up that way. Then again, just put a little glue and just kind of place this kind of in the bottom, however you want. Okay, so let me do that again. See, it's easy when you already have the design and your placement. My T was a little messed up there, so I just put the flower petal over the janky part. Nobody will know. And I'm going to put this flower kind of down here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. Again, use as many or as few as you want. It's your project. I'm getting better with my dimensional consumption, but I still feel like I need more. I started cutting them in half, if you see. You really don't need that many, but I don't know. Okay. Open your card, make sure it's the correct way. And center it. Do your next one. And center it. You can always stamp a sentiment inside if you want to, or, you know. Okay. Gem it up. I think I'm going to use... I used the mango ones in that one, but I think I want the softer pink in these ones. That one. I like that. And then this one I want to do, I'll do the same. So I put the big gem and the big flower and the little gems on the medium and the small flower, like so. That's it. Now you can add, you know, as much more as you want. I know some people are like, oh, that's so plain. My style is clean and simple, minimalist. So I think that looks absolutely beautiful. I don't think it needs any more, but you can. There's some little splatter stamps you can add, you know, if you want to add little, I'll show you. We can add some splatters. Why not? So it's like these tiny little splatter thingies. We can add some splats. You can go crazy with your design, obviously, whatever. You can add ribbon. We're going to add ribbon to the next card. So just some little... Oh, I really messed that splatter up, but that's okay. I still think it looks good. There you go. I pressed too hard on a dimensional. But I still think it looks really cute, actually. You can add splatters to your other one. I don't think I'm going to add any more splatters. For time's sake, I might want to turn the camera off. No. But these cards are ready to go. So you stamp or write your little message, and you're good to go. Or if you're going to sell these at a craft fair, oh my gosh, get in there. You put it in your little clear sleeve, and you're good to go. Okay, so let me clean these ones and then get ready for the next one. Okay, what I actually went to go do was go eat some pizza. So that's what I went and did. All right, this card here, we're going to do this one, change the colors. We already have our bases. We need our ribbon. So essentially what you're going to do is just line up your pieces. Now, this is why I did the 1 7/8, because I wanted that gap in between. If you don't want a gap, then just, you know, obviously do it at 2. And then, you know, you're good to go. But I wanted the gap. My piece that we put in the embossing folder, I forgot that when you put stuff in the embossing folder, a 3D embossing folder, it makes it slightly smaller, and so it is going to be shorter than your pattern piece, ever so slightly. If that bothers you, then you need to add that ever so slightly measurement to your paper. I'm talking like 1/16 of an inch. But for some people, that's a lot. Alright. So for my cardstock, I'm definitely going to use wet glue. This part here I could use tape runner, but I'm going to use wet glue. I got some glue overhang right here I need to get off. Anytime I use 3D folder, always use wet glue because it gets in those nooks and crannies. So, and I tend to use a lot more glue on the 3D embossing folder. Okay, so you're gonna line it up to where you want it. I line it up against the right edge because that's the part you're gonna see. You're not gonna see this middle part. And you know what? I actually did it a little wrong. But that's okay. Because these ones, I put the ribbon down before I put the layer down. So on my other video, you'll see it done the correct way. This way is not the correct way. But this is good that I messed up so you can see it honestly doesn't matter. Okay? So what I'm going to do is take my tear and tape, 1/4 inch strong tape you have, and I'm going to run it down the middle. And I am stopping at the white. Oh man, that thing didn't want to tear. I'm stopping at the white panel. If you don't put your white panel down, you can continue to go around the back of your white panel. And that way it's a little bit more secure on those edges. But I forgot on this one. So on the other video, hopefully I do it right. My ribbon's still on the spool. You know what? First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna tap some fire on the edge, just so it doesn't come undone, because I'm not putting it around the panel. All right, so I'm just going to line it up, and I'm going to cut it where I want it to go. You need your sharp scissors for this. Okay, come on. And again, I'm going to tap some fire on that. Okay. As you can see, oh, doesn't matter. But then I forgot my other part. I forgot my knot. So all I did was make a little knot in the middle. I tied it on my panel. Ugh, these are trash. Where are my good scissors? And there we go. Okay, now you're just going to move your knot around to where you want it, and then go ahead and re-adhere that piece. There you go. And you can put dimensionals if you want. I think I am going to put dimensionals after I find them. Okay. Oh, that's why I didn't glue the other one down, because my dimensionals held it in place. See? There was a reason, but it's always good to have extra adhesion, right? And make sure this is the top. If you tied your knot at the bottom, that's fine too. But as you saw, the ribbon is very easy to come up. So, you know, and actually, because I lifted that a couple times, what I'm going to do, just to make sure my ribbon is secure, I'm going to add wet glue. Just to make myself happy, really. You can move your knot down wherever you need your knot to go. I actually like it right there. Okay, your gems. Oh wait, no, our flowers. I have 2 little flowers because of my flower eating machine over there. I just put wet glue in the middle so I could kind of curl up my sides a little bit. But you can obviously glue them flat if that's what you like. And actually I'm going to change this design a little bit and have the blue flower down here. And gems, I'm going to go with, I went with the white on this one. Where's my tool? Oh, I put it away. And I think I'm going to go with this pink here. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, this one's done. Something keeps sticking. I don't see anything. Ah, right here. This is why you always check for your overhang glue. You can add Wink of Stella, your splats, your whatever, but I'm done. Okay, and then your last one. So, like I said in the other video, I will show you the, the way to add your ribbon before you glue on your panel. But it doesn't, I mean, it honestly doesn't matter. Line this up with the right side. And my sticky tape right in the middle. That one wasn't exactly in the best spot, so what I'm going to do is take my paper off and then I'm just going to add. Just kind of moving it over just a little bit. Okay. Cut my ends so that way it's, oh my gosh. What is going on today? Somewhat straight. Add a little fire, which makes it straight. And all the way to the bottom here. To about there. I'm not laying it down all the way so I can put my knot on. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is just what I decided to do because I'm not that great with ribbon, but I love the look of it. Actually, I'm going to cut this off because it's irritating me. I could try to keep it on the spool and so I don't waste it, but it was irritating me. So I'm going to cut it. Okay. Bam. Alright, again, I'm going to add some fire because I have some fraying here. Guys, be careful with fire, please. Don't have the fire department at your house because you done burnt your house down. Alright, now we're going to put dimensionals and add. Here we go. And we're going to try to hurry up because it sounds like people came home upstairs and they're about to be real loud. So, we're going to hurry up. Alright, so let's add our dear friend. Kind of in the middle here. Perfect. I do want my knot to be a little smaller, so I'm going to angle these little sides like so. add my fire, and that's it, right? Cute. Gems. Oh gosh, I'm trying to hurry before they're loud. This one I'm gonna go with blue. Let's go 1. Let's go 2 and 3. And I'm gonna do some flower work here. Okay, I'm gonna go put this flower here. And I'm gonna put this flower. Oopsies. Good thing my glue dries clear. I'm gonna put this one over here, I think. Yep. Okay, so that is my card. And this one's ready to go. I'm gonna have to let that dry because if I try to put it in the envelope now, that wet glue is gonna get it. But there you go. Just changing the colors, you know, changes the whole look of the card. And you really didn't have to redesign anything. All right, thanks for watching the process, guys. Bye.